In North Lawndale, for years, there's been a lack of, I would say, engaged beauty. And I think that art can bring some engaged beauty into the community. And it's really a plus that the Art Institute wants to engage the community. You're bringing a calming atmosphere and a togetherness that we can rally around in a special place to bring a special feeling.
The foundation of Home and Square has been working here in North Lawndale for the past 30 years to kind of raise awareness of some of the complex needs that exist in our community. Also build partnerships and just bring knowledge around what's going to be necessary to develop our community.
4 years ago, the Foundation for Home and Square was looking to rebuild the old Sears Tower. They had asked the community what kind of services they needed in the neighborhood. They were looking at youth programming, building job skills, and also arts and culture. So they invited SAIC to bring arts programming to the tower.
Art is a great medium, you know, it just brings people together. Then you can imagine what it means to make your life better, to make your community better.
The School of the Art Institute of Chicago at Home and Square is a place that is informed and led by North Lawndale community and artists. We have free art classes and workshops for local community residents, degree classes in civic engagement for SAIC students, and an artist in residency program who are chosen by the community.
To have a base where one can offer classes that are reflective on the needs of the community and in collaboration with the community is really something that should be happening on a regular basis throughout all communities in Chicago. This tower becomes a lighthouse. It becomes a beacon, but it is a beacon that is lit by multiple communities. It's lit by North Lawndale, it's lit by the Art Institute, it's lit by their affiliates that are coming together and saying we are going to collaborate and make something magical happen.
The Artist in Residence program provides opportunities for artists to work in the community, to use art as a tool to solve issues and contribute to Chicago's West Side.
The issues that our city are facing can be dealt with through effective communication. And art that is created in communities of color, South and West Side of Chicago, that's the missing communication that's not at the table. That's the role that art plays in community right now. A microphone for truth. When people hear it, transformation of our city.
At the Nichols Tower, we also have SAIC degree classes and an art studio. It's a place for neighbors, students, and artists to collaborate, host community events, promote conversation and understanding.
Our class is really centered around the idea of getting to know the neighborhood. We're combining health and wellness, art making, and civic engagement all in one course. Running through a neighborhood like Home and Square, which is not centrally located, learning about health and nutrition and how that correlates to best practices in anybody's art studio making and street art painting. We're being very transparent and honest with ourselves as a classroom and the community that we're visitors, that we are outsiders, and rather than us trying to reinvent the wheel for our own purposes, we just need to tap into all of these activities that are already happening.
I've always had classes downtown, and the one thing about downtown is there's very little identity. And so to come somewhere like this where there is an identity and a culture and a people who really, occupy this space, you're here because this is where people live, this is where they facilitate their homes, and you have to be really respectful and very different about it than you normally would, and it changes the learning experience a lot.
SAIC also invites visiting artists to do programs in the community. We've had a range of different projects that are created by community members and local artists to engage the community. One project we did is called West Side Wednesdays. It's an open mic space where people can rap, they can sing, they can read poetry, or just express themselves.
I'm starting to think that my tongue ain't royal enough to introduce you.
I think it's important for young people and people in the community to see people thriving and people surviving and being out in the streets doing the work that they love to do, and then being able to come back and kind of put on for their city or put on for their neighborhood. You don't necessarily see those kinds of things in the area where you're surrounded by, you know, the ills of society or bad things that are happening in the neighborhood. Westside Wednesdays doesn't just have to happen here on Wednesdays when we're here. That ripples out throughout the week. People come and talk about their lives and about their issues or spit a song, but you never know what kind of impact that might have on them and how they like carry that, and it goes from person to person.
I hope we can expand to be a full art center, but I also want to see that the community is alive with art projects that they find important, that they have a space where they're comfortable taking classes, that they have a place where they can offer their art show and exhibitions, the opportunity to have a bright and lively art culture like any other part of neighborhoods that we have in Chicago.